Hey y'all. Happy Thursday. I had to look like, wait, hold up. Is it Wednesday or Thursday? The day is just flying by, child. Okay. Hey, what's up? Yeah. That's yeah, okay. Anywho. Hey y'all. Okay. How y'all doing on this good Thursday? Hey. All right, let's get into this read. Welcome back to my channel. This is Adana, also known as the Afro Scene. And today I'm reading for the beautiful Handsome Collective. Hello, Collective. How you doing? How's the collective doing? Flowers, flowers, flowers. Flowers, flowers, flowers. One more time. Flowers, flowers, flowers. Yes, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Like, share, subscribe. Share as well. Hit that notification bell. To book a private reading with me or to shop in my store, all that information is in my description box, okay? And also, don't forget to grab a copy of this book here. It's called Wisdom Beyond the Wounds. Yes, yes, yes. And it was created by me for the collective here that may have experienced many bouts surrounding narcissism, okay? All right, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing and supporting. Let's get into this read. The channel message here is they knew what they've done to you. I'm going to break this down more so from a psychological aspect of things surrounding narcissism. It's all going to make sense at the end, okay? Um, so however it resonates for you, please keep in mind that this is a collective read. Not everything that I'm going to mention to you is going to resonate with you. Take what resonates and leave the rest, okay? All right, so with that being said, channel messages, they knew exactly what they've done to you here, okay? These are individuals or group of people here that really thought that it would be best or it was advised to them to choose harmful tactics to come towards you with or to try to place you in or upon. The reason being that they chose harmful tactics is because they tend to or they prefer to blind themselves from the deeper truth to avoid collapse. You are the truth. You're being seen as the truth. You're being shown as the truth. Your authenticity shows, it exhibits you as the truth there. And from my perspective of things, when a person or group of people, take it how it resonates, are willing to separate themselves from the truth, meaning you. So you are the truth in many forms, physically, psychologically, mentally, emotionally, even financially as well too. Okay. And the reason why they refuse to see the actual deeper truth within you and also within them, because it really puts them in a position or a space where that they're realizing that things are not how do you call it, they're not truthful with their nature. They're not truthful with their self here. So I'm going to break down what it could be to be psychologically blind. Okay. And this is what I feel from my research of things surrounding narcissism, is that they are very psychologically blind. And the reason being is because their psyche is specifically wired for survival and not truth. I feel, from my point of view, my research of things, I strongly feel that narcissism stems or starts from the nuclear family or from just the childhood traumas or family here. A lot of manipulation may have happened to these individuals. A lot of gaslighting may have happened to them. They may have had a lot of conditional love and things of that nature. So they had to create some form of a facade or mask so that way people can see them in a certain way. And how they want people to see them in a certain way is a very loving way, but behind closed doors, they're a complete monster. So I feel that the moment that you were able to see the monstrous side of them, there is the moment that they've completely just let go of all of this good guy or good girl type of mask. It's called the splitting defense. So the splitting defense is basically when a narcissistic person lives in a world of splits, good versus bad, victim versus enemy. They can't hold complexity when it comes to these things, when it comes to good versus bad, or when it comes to victim versus enemy. So when they harm, they convince themselves that it's deserved. When the person they feel that's speaking the truth, that is the truth, they feel very intimidated by the truth that you speak, or just who you are in general here. And what they tend to do is they convince themselves that the truth hurts, literally and figuratively. Does that make sense? Because you are the truth, because you speak the truth, because you do everything in a truthful manner, your truth actually hurts them, and they perceive it. They look at it from that perspective here, where they feel like because of the truth that you speak, or because of how truthful that you are, and that could be spun in many different ways, you should be hurt for telling the truth. Hopefully that makes sense. So in a literal way, they don't know, or they come off as if they don't know what they're doing, but the triggers are showing up as the action in regards to what they do surrounding the truth that you trigger them with. So they do lack ego maturity, that they do, to comprehend that they don't understand, or maybe they don't want to understand, that they're both the abuser and also the wounded child that's projecting their fallacies onto you. So what would consider them to be a wounded child? This is more so generally speaking here. We all went through some form of childhood trauma, some kind of something, okay? And in some cases, or most cases, so I'm going to split it up. One side, I'm going to do both sides. So on the negative side of things, a person that has grown up and has not done any type of shadow work or any type of healing work surrounding the experiences that they went through when they were a child, is going to grow, or is going to form into narcissism. And there are many different steps and aspects of it. On the flip side of it, another person may have went through extremities surrounding their childhood here, but they decided to take the initiative, meaning you decide to take the initiative to do something greater or better for self, and now you're seeing great results. Again, it stems right back to like the splitting defense, and more so when it comes to the truth here. So splitting is a defense mechanism when a person can't hold both the good and the bad of themselves or others in the same picture. Instead of seeing people as whole and complex, they reduce them into extremes. This is why when you are around a person that's very narcissistic in nature, their response to things, or the action that they decide to take towards you, can come off as very extreme, because again, they can't understand, or they can't comprehend the complexities of good versus bad, victim versus enemy, etc., etc. So it's either you're all good, which they will idolize you, and you're only good or great when you're not speaking truth, when you're not exhibiting any forms of truth. They know that you're very truthful. Of course they know that, which is why they're trying their hardest to suppress the truth that you speak, that you walk in, that however it resonates here. Then the other side of it is they either idolize you as someone great or someone good, as long as you're not speaking truth or exhibiting bouts of truth. Or the other way is they will they perceive you as being very bad or very negative or devalued. It's called a paradox, okay? So there's really no in between, no middle ground, no complexity, because again, they're not able to differentiate the two. So they kind of put everything together, and it helps them to harbor this survival, I get, points of view of life that they think that they need to have control of. So these are individuals here, because I've been doing a lot of like dive deeping research surrounding narcissism, because I want to understand why things are happening the way that it's happening, because I strongly feel that narcissism is a pandemic. I strongly do. It's happening all over the world, but I just don't feel like people were able to have the right information or insight here, and more so kind of breaking it down to kind of seeing it in the way that it really is, which is the truth of things. And the truth of things, to me, from my point of view, is that narcissism is very parasitic, okay? Anything that they attach themselves to, they're going to destroy it. whatever they think or see as truthful, they're going to destroy it. Again, that's just my own points of view of things here. But nonetheless, going back to the splitting the fence here, they don't see you as some days, sometimes you have good days, sometimes you have, bad days. They just see you as a person that, as long as you're not speaking any truth, you're good in their book. You not talking about them in a negative way, you're good. You're good in their book. But the moment that you cross that line, or you cross that boundary, or more so that control, which they no longer have access to, or they never had it to begin with, here is a moment where they start to devalue you. You ain't this, and you'll never be this, and you'll never be that. So this is why, going back to the title, they knew what they've done to you. They knew that you were a person that were very truthful in all aspects of your life here. And they didn't want other people to be aware of that. So what can they do to stop the truth from coming out? Meaning who you are, if that makes sense, versus people seeing them in the actual light that they don't want them to see, where they buried the truth. But things are happening in a way to where they're no longer able to do that, because they've been living in nothing but survival mode. And survival mode, if that's the only mode that you live in, eventually that survival mode is going to falter away. I have to be very honest. If someone or something has been living in survival mode for a very long time without any nurture, any care, any love, or anything like that, slowly but surely that thing that's living in survival mode or being in survival mode is just going to just kind of like, it's just going to end or just kind of give away, if that makes sense. Like there's no life to it, and it's struggling for, I'll use a plant as an example. A plant needs about 3 or 4 things, top things or essential things, in order for it to grow really well. It needs love. Okay, you got to talk to the plant. Yes, you do. It needs water and it needs sun. Okay, the extra things might be nutrients and things of that nature, but those are the top 3, 4 things that it need. And if you don't take care of a plant over time, then you have to take into effect of the elements. Let's say it's a real hot summer day and you haven't watered your plant in the past 2 or 3 days. Well, you're going to start to get warning signs surrounding the plants. The plant may start to droop over. It may not look very strong. It may not be thriving in a way. You know what I mean? But if you completely negate and ignore this plant that needs attention, eventually it's going to start to go into survival mode. And survival mode can look, it's going to be spun many different ways in regards to how y'all perceive it. But from the plant's point of view here, it's showing you signs of stress, that it needs some form of attention to ensure that it can get back into a thriving mode, if that makes sense here. But eventually, if you just ignore the plant or the flower, and it turns into survival, it's going to use all that it can around the actual pots of the plants, and then eventually the plant is going to be in that survival mode to the point where it won't be able to do what it needs to do anymore. So this is where this narcissistic individuals are, or the group of people are. They live in survival mode, okay? Their fragile self-image can't tolerate contradictions. It cannot. So they chop reality into black and white categories to protect their ego, if that makes sense. They can't protect their ego anymore because the truth is too profound. You are the truth, and the things that you are saying, it doesn't sit well with them, because they try to block off, or not even try, they block off parts of their psyche here, so that way they can rationalize, or more so feel more comfortable as to why they should cause some form of deliberate harm towards you. So, let's see. Move forward with an open mind, and that was in reverse. I'm going to just show you the card upright, but this card came out in reverse, okay? Move forward with an open mind. Their mind is very closed off right now, okay? They don't know how to shake back from this. They don't know how to see the truth in the truth. They don't, because they don't know what the truth is, or even they don't know what the truth is, which I highly doubt. I strongly feel they know what the truth is, but they don't want to acknowledge what the truth is, which is why the truth can come off as such when someone is fully aware in regards to what the truth is. Some individuals, not all, but some individuals that struggle with truth, they're going to do everything possible to hide it. So with this card coming out here, Galactic Healer, move forward with an open mind. They can't move forward with an open mind because having to move forward with an open mind is going to put you in a position, or it's going to sit you down to where you have to see the truth for what it is, and you're not able to. That makes sense? So we have create open communication. Okay, that's in reverse as well. Okay. Oh. They can't create an open communication because they don't have an open mind. An open mind, being able to have open communication, meaning that they're willing to sit down and to hash out or to be able to rectify the issue at hand. They can't do either. So it's going to be very hard for them to do, which is why, going back to the title, they knew what they've done to you. They're in a space now where they refuse to take accountability for what they've done because of how brash it will be to their ego. It will be very, I'm going to be honest, it could come off as life-threatening to some of these narcissistic individuals, which is why they feel, because they're living in survival mode for a long time, or for a very long time, they have like this switch. It's like a switch of like total destruction, or it's like a self-sabotage of a switch that they turn on once they realize that people see them for who they are. If that makes sense. Oh, people see you, people see that, they're a harmful person, they're a rude person, they're this, they're that, they are, they're a liar, they're a manipulator, whatever, however. That makes sense here. And that's what they don't want people to see. So first they love you, then they hate you. Okay, to me, I feel that's bipolar. That's just me. And again, from my own research of things, I feel like that bipolarism could really be intertwined surrounding narcissism. I strongly feel that. Because ain't no way 1 minute they're really cool with you and everything is fine. The communication, the connection is fine, however it resonates for you. And then not even a split second, you say something or you did something and that triggers them to completely think that you are the worst person in the world. That what? Yeah, that's bipolar for me. My God. So we have create inner harmony. All these cards coming out in reverse. I'm just going to show y'all upright with this moon, or sorry, not this moon, this owl. Maybe owls are your favorite spirit animal. You may be looking into owls. You can relate to owls, the metaphysical properties that surround an owl. Mindful wisdom, create inner harmony. They can't create inner harmony if they refuse to have an open mind and they refuse to have open communication. Let me change this deck because this just keeps coming out. These are the things that they refuse to do. They refuse to create inner harmony. They can't create inner harmony if they refuse to have an open mind. They're going to refuse to have an open communication or conversation with anyone because of the closeness of their mind. It's just not going to work. And the reason why they feel that way is because, yet again, they knew what they done to you. They can't handle what they done to you because it's going to be the end of the road for them. Okay? Message of concern. Okay. Hey. We have despair. Yes. The disparities come from the closeness of who they are. The disparities in the message of concern comes from the shadows that they refuse to acknowledge. They refuse to acknowledge the truth for what it is. They're okay with lies and liars. As long as someone is in their group and they're okay with seeing them in that way, and they won't question them too much, or they won't probe or prod into certain things that they're doing here, they're okay with that. That makes them feel the most powerful, the most in control. Again, this stems from childhood wounds or childhood traumas. And these are individuals here that are grown adults here that are still in a space where they have not healed those childhood traumas here. This is why they feel like that they can cause bodily harm towards other people, because they feel like that they're in control of themselves and they're not. Someone's name is Hannah or Bailey. Could be Bailey or Bailee. So marriage and gift is here. Okay. Marriage and gift is here. Marriage is upright, but the gift is in reverse. So for the ones that were actually married to this person, take it how it resonates, okay? They didn't see you as a gift to the connection because of the truth you carried. You were their best kept secret. They never thought of you as a gift or a gem. No. Because they knew that the gift that you carry of truth, it carries a lot of gems, or it's a gift to the world, or it could be a gift to the world. They feel like it was an attack on their image because you wouldn't stay put, you wouldn't do what they say, you wouldn't, So if they feel like it was an attack on their image. And the image that they perceived was that they were the gift to you, and they weren't. They were a dud. They were a pack of shit, a big pile of watery elephant shit. That's what they were, child. Yeah. To me, I just feel like narcissistic individuals are just scammers. They could be a scammer financially, emotionally, mentally, psychologically. Like all they do is just go around and just flip flam and just scam people. That's just me. That's just what I feel and what I perceive. Like they have to scam their way through life. That's a part of survival as well too. Their survival skills are scamming. And again, they scam in many different ways here. And they really try to scam you out your life or out of the greatness of your life here. But they did it strategically, yet again, which is very intentional. So they were aware in regards to what they were doing. They were also aware that you may have been trying to come towards them to have a conversation with them to kind of see what was going on. And they completely ixnayed or completely denied or declined the open conversation or the ability to be able to sit down and have a conversation with you here. They completely ignored all that. That don't make sense to them. But it makes sense to hurt someone. But it makes sense to silence someone because we see them for the filth of a lie that they are. Make it make sense. You can't call them out on their lies, but they can try to hush you up and call you out on the truth that you speak. Make it make sense. You can't call them out on their lies, their BS lies, but they can do everything in their power to hush up your truth when they knew that you were the truth since day one, which is why I don't understand why they keep consistently trying to be around something that triggers them. Why is that? Anybody, help me out here. Why is it that when someone sees something that they don't like, they can't stand the sight to whatever person, place, or thing here, and they know that person, place, or thing is triggering them beyond triggering them, besides, or instead of them moving away or disconnecting from the thing that's triggering them, they want to get closer to it. And the more closer they get to the thing, the person, place, or thing that's triggering them, the more they feel is very justifiable to cause some form of a physical damage or harm to it. They rationalize cruelty. They rationalize cruelty as discipline, gaslighting as truth telling, or explanation as survival. That's how they rationalize their life. Cruelty is supposedly discipline from their point of view, gaslighting as truth telling, and exploitation as survival. It's a defense mechanism. They can't face the damage they cause because it will fracture their fragile sense of self. What else, Spirit? Judication. Hey, Lisa. They're being judged for what they've done harshly, very, very harshly. It's very abrasive, very brash. They're trying to get out of survival to get back into living, but were they ever living to begin with bad health? Were they ever living? Hey, Lisa, Lisa, hey, y'all. Coffin is here. Of a false person. The more they sit on their lies is the more sicker they'll become. The more they refuse to acknowledge what they've done, the more they continue to stay in survival mode, the more they'll become sicker and sicker and sicker until they're not here anymore. It is what it is. Everything has an end. Everything. Including surviving. And you have a few choices when it comes to surviving. You can either get out of that situation, or you're going to stay in that situation until you're not able to survive anymore. If that makes sense. There are many different choices here. They wanted you in the latter. They wanted you in the point where you're in survival mode and you won't ever, ever, ever be able to come out of that situation. That's what they wanted for you. Bad health and coffin. And that's happening for them. Not only for them, but to them. Oh, Lord. Okay, so yeah, they were surviving on lies, not truth, because you don't have to survive in truth. That don't even make sense. You can never survive in truth. You'll live in truth. You can't survive in truth. Because truth is going to come at your door and it's going to claw away everything that you even thought was the truth, if that makes sense. But when it comes to lies, yeah, you can survive in lies, but for how long? That's the question. That's the $1 billion question for today. But for how long? Instead of them facing the truth for what it is, they prefer to survive in their lies. And that's okay. They can. Not that's all. Unique. Oh, Unique, the goddess says they. I was put it in layman's terms, but she said they need a spiritual bath, and they need some Dettol. They do for the soul. They do. Oh man. Yeah, agreed. Moon Pie Bye says on YouTube, the great Forrest Gump said, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. I guess they know now. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do agree to that. The thing about it though is that I'll use that as a how you call it, analogy. When it came to the box of chocolates, they already assumed or they thought that they were going to get the best of the best decadent chocolates. That's how they perceive life. They think they are the best of the best. They are the best things in sliced bread. Can't nobody tell them nothing about who they are. And I feel like they've been that way since they were a child. They had an inflated ego about themselves since they were a child. This goes for mom, brother, sister, uncle, friend, ex-lover, ex-spouse, however it resonates, okay? But they always had some form of an inflation of ego since they were young. And I felt like what catered to them having an inflated ego is that they weren't able to receive the love or nurturing that they were looking for when they were young. So yet again, they lived under conditional terms. You may have had as well too, but the difference between you and them is that the moment that you realize that the things that they were doing towards were very conditional here, you change the narrative. You decided to live in truth. Yes, you may have survived in lies. Yes, most of us did. Yes, 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 yes. That's the truth. Most of us survived in lies because that's what we thought it was. We were painted a certain story or a certain narrative that we should do certain things that way because that person did it or because that's the norm or whatever the case may be. They wanted you to live in survival because they think that's the norm. It may have been the norm for them, but because you decided to live more for self, the truth came out more, if that makes sense. So they looked at you or they saw you as a form of an op or opposition or someone that they can't trust because now you decide to leave that survival life behind. That's them. They're living in survival. So you completely left them, person, place, and thing behind here, and you decided to walk in your truth or live life with truth. And you're going to see a big difference surrounding someone that lives in truth versus someone that lies to survive. When you have to lie to survive, that means you could be at the bottom of something or a situation here, and you're willing to do anything possible to get out of that situation. And sometimes it really makes people or puts people in a position where they have to use lies in a form of surviving. I've been there. I have. I'm sure you have as well too. I'm sure you have as well too. But the moment you're like, man, I gotta say this, and I got this, and I got, man, I can't do it. And you were like, I don't want to survive anymore. I want to do something completely different. I want to thrive. I want to live life proudly. I want to live in my truth and my authenticity. And it was always there. Your authenticity of who you were always there. But because you were around other people, i.e. family dynamics, friends, lovers, whatever, however here, because you were around those individuals here, you adapted those ideologies that they wanted you to adopt, which was to survive. No, you're not supposed to tell the truth. Why do you keep telling the truth? Something's wrong with you. No, that's not true. That's not this. And every time you will kind of push back with the truth that you spoke since you were a young child here, yeah, they had to change the dynamics pretty quickly because they could not do what you did. Yeah. I'm with you. Unique the Goddess says on TikTok, I dislike lying. I feel ashamed. I agree with you. I thought I was the only one, but I 100% agree with you. I do. My whole thing is you don't have to lie to kick it. Just tell the truth. Did you break the glass? Did the glass fall on the floor? Okay, yeah. Yeah, all right, no problem. Just be careful, something like that. But tell the truth, and you were like, but I don't like that. I don't like people to kind of force it, and especially when they're lying. It just gets too much. But anywho, we have message here. Look, message. Right on time message. I feel like the reason why they wanted to cause the physical parts or the physical bodily harm towards you here is because of the truth that you spoke. It really brought forth, or your authenticity really, really, really shined through the moment that you decided to speak truth and stick with the truth. Okay. And the moment that you did that is when they felt like you should be devalued. Yeah, they were praising you when you were on their side. They thought that you were a liar like them. Negative. They thought that you did harmful things to yourself like they did. Negative. They thought you were just like them or just like others. Negative. Negative. Now they're trying to get out of survival mode, but yet again, they're not going to be able to because they refuse to speak the truth. Speak the truth. Oh, I can't speak the truth. For why not? Because people gonna know what I did. Well, it's gonna set you free. It's gonna set them free. No, I can't do that. No, well, should have never did it in the first place. If you never lied in the first place, then you wouldn't have to, you wouldn't have to worry about speaking any truth. Because, but anywho, we have, what's this? Unexpected income. Okay. They're financially burdened. They're looking for ways to come up financially with those eyes on that tree. Yeah, they're looking for ways to accumulate finances or money. It could be off a child's back. You could be the child I'm speaking about. You're an adult now, of course. But I feel like a lot of eyes were on you when you were a child, and also could be financially as well. You may have been getting checks from the state, and you probably shouldn't have getting that. Like Social Security letters or something that you may not or should not have had when you were a child. They were getting paid or they were getting benefits from it because of you. You were just looked as a cash cow. You were. And then it seems like the batons changed hands when you got into platonic and also romantic connections, like your friends group and, your love, connection and things of that nature here. It just changed batons or hands because you weren't aware as to what was going on. And I strongly feel with this toxic family dynamic here, they were aware. They wanted you stuck in this cycle, this toxic cycle, because they felt stuck in this toxic cycle. They're still stuck in this toxic cycle. They're still on the spin cycle. Yes, they are. They don't know when it's going to stop. Oh, well. So we have this book here. Okay. We have this book here. So it's like they're trying to learn from you, from who you are, like the aesthetics of you, the physical principalities of who you are, what make you you. It's like they're getting other people. Okay, so it's like they're trying to take pages from your book, and you have many different books of who you are. You have like the book on what you like, what you don't like, what's your passion. They're like aspects. So we'll just say chapters. I'll put it in that way. There are many different chapters that make you you in the book of life when it comes to you. Everybody has their own book of life, if that makes sense. And I feel like they're trying to take pages or rip pages from your book so that way they don't be shown in a way or in a light that they are surviving, because the book or the pamphlet, or more so, it could be spun in many different ways. But just who you are the blueprint to success or of success, if that makes sense. And this is what they were doing here. They were trying to study you to be more like you, to get out of survival mode. But the moment that you were aware that what they were doing, they were trying to get you in survival mode. They were trying to beat you down while you were in survival mode. Here is the moment where they felt like it was very justifiable to deem you or devalue you as someone that they can no longer trust. They only trust you because you weren't aware of what they were doing. Do you hear that? It may sound very silly saying it, but it makes a lot of sense, despite it sounding very silly saying it. They could only trust you because you weren't aware in regards to what they were doing towards you. Let me say that again. They only trusted you because they were aware at the time that you weren't aware in regards to what they were trying to do towards you. Look at the cell phone and look at the peoples. This could be a family unit here. And many people had many watchful eyes over you over the years here, trying to make sure that you don't get ahead of the curve. But you are the fucking curve. You've always been ahead of this so-called game that they keep trying to play with you. Always. Again, how is it that they can create a game? There's no instructions or directions to the game, and you completely obliterated or destroyed this said game. How? Oh man. Oh man. It's like you're trying to run a hundred yard dash or 100-meter dash. And you know that you are the best out of all of them. Yeah, I'm going to put you there. That's how you need to be confidently every freaking day anyways. Because you are that girl or you are that guy. Divine collective that I'm speaking to. I'm always going to cheerlead y'all on. Hell yeah, because I'm a part of y'all. Y'all a part of me, if that makes sense. But anywho here, you need to make sure that every day that you wake up, every day that you have another opportunity to be great, you show up as such. I don't give a damn who say what or who say what or whatever. Make sure every day that you show up very confidently. And if you don't, or you're afraid or you're unsure, then work on your parasympathetic system. Yeah, that is definitely linked to chronic CPTSD and also PTSD. Okay, breath work helps as well too. Reinvigorating your sacral and your solar plexus chakra, that also helps as well too. Getting to the natural state of who you truly are authentically, if that makes sense. But moving forward, I want you guys to wake up every day and I want you to tell yourself that you are very confident and that you are a powerhouse, because you are. And these are things that should be ingrained within you to let you know that yes, you are that person. Yes, you are. Let me give you some flowers. You are that person, period. Period. Okay. So, with that being said, hi, Brian. Hey, CK. Thank you. All right, let's see. You can always be the one. Always. Yeah, like, okay. All right, I'll take that. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. It's like a city. So it's like a desert. This is how it looks. Far away, if you look far away, this part right here, it looks very dry, right? You normally can see this like if you're on a plane and you like traveling over like desert type of terrain, you'll see actual examples of this. But if you look closely or closer, there are buildings. So far away, okay, far away, it looks very dried. There's no life. But when you get closer to the actual depiction of the card here, there are buildings here. And that tells me here is that from a mile away, people couldn't see what was going on. But the moment that things got up close and personal is the moment that you're able to see more intricate details of the situation. So for me, it's like looking in a microscope, but you're looking in a microscope under, surrounding what these narcissistic individuals do here, or more so, this could be like a form of survival as well too. If you look, again, look at the picture, right? Okay. So with that being said, yeah, up close and personal, people are seeing it for what it is. Far away, they couldn't see. And it could be because maybe they didn't know what they were looking for, what they should look for. This could also be a barrier or protection to not come up close and personal as well too. Because if you see this from miles away, you're not going to want to visit this, or you're not going to investigate. But people that look beyond what's being shown up close and personal, because you were able to get away from this part here, you were able to see here. Again, you're now able to see things from a more so refined microscope of life, that or perspective. And that's what they didn't want you to do. They wanted you caged within your mind. This is a form of communication, writing. is a form of communication. And they wanted you to be encapsulated within your mind, or they did not want you to pen how you felt. Okay, some of you guys, you may not have been allowed to write in a journal. Or if you did write in a journal, your journal was taken from you and they read your secrets, or just, what was going on here. And they used that to their advantage, but your disadvantage. So for the ones who had a journal, or you like to journal, or you may have had to hide journals from this toxic family dynamic here, they found it and then they used it to scramble your mind even further. So an example would be, I'm having a trying day. I don't like my living situation, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. And then they'll use that against you, and they'll say something like, try to make you feel bad for saying that, or try to gaslight you, or try to manipulate you to, to kind of make you feel like that what you're going through is kind of normal, if that makes sense, but it's not. Freedom of speech doesn't cater to some families. It doesn't. Let's talk about it. Toxic families are not open to truths, and they're not open to communications. They're not, because that will make them self-reflect in a way that they're not ready for, and they're not able to handle that. So instead of them seeing it for what it is, they rather shut you up so that way no one can see it for what it is, period. And that just doesn't sit right to me. Ain't no fucking way a person's going to try to cause harm to another person, an innocent person there, and then you're trying to oppress them or push them or brutalize them in a way to where they can't speak out in regards to what that person initiated towards you. Fuck out of here. I'm just, man, hell nah. Hell nah. That ain't gonna work for me, little dog. I just, that ain't gonna work for me, little dog. It's just not. You don't say anything. You better not say anything. So then what happens when you do? They only prepared for when you did not. They never prepared for when you did. So what happens when you did? The storm arise. Not the storm of your life. Some of y'all, or most of y'all, weren't even aware that your own family were putting you strategically and intentionally in storms. You weren't aware. Let's call it what it is. And they love that about you. You ain't no diddly squat in what they were trying to do towards you here. They wanted you to be the bearer of the storms. How in the hell can someone bake a cake and you miss the most important part or step of the cake, and you just kind of put it inside the oven, then you get upset because it didn't come out in the way that you anticipate? They missed steps. Despite this being strategic and very intentional for years, they still missed steps. Yes, they did. And the steps that they missed were you. Huh? Well, they missed steps in regards to you here because they could never keep up in regards to the steps that you made. Your steps were always, we'll say, hidden in plain sight. Your steps were hidden in plain sight, and they tried to emulate or mimic or imitate every step that you took. But every step that you took and every step they decided to take after you took that first initial step, they always fell. Always. Always. Michael Jackson has a song called Be Not Always. I love that song. Be not always. I feel real nasally. Somebody got something going on nasally. I'm good. I'm healthy, but my nose feels stuffy. So when they keep missing the steps that you took, they blamed you for that. It's damn if you do, damn if you don't. They just want to place blame on you for the most silliest thing, child. Look. full moon is out in that picture. Water could be used as a form of truth. Water washes things away. Yes, let's say you have dirt on a mat and you didn't know that there was a lot of dirt until you washed the mat off in its entirety. But you taking the time to use that water as a form of a, as a tool here to wash away things that you might not have been able to see. The moment that it was washed away or cleansed away, the moment that you see the truth in its entirety. And the water can also represent emotions as well too. You could be a water sign, take it how it resonates. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Or you allowed your emotions, or you regulated your emotions so that way you can see the truth in things as well too. It could be spun in many different ways, of course. They don't know your steps. Despite them being around you, they don't know your steps. Because their foot would never fit in your shoe. I don't care if y'all wear the same sizes. Your foot or their foot will never fit in your shoe. Your foot won't fit in their shoe. Everybody's shoe of life or path of life is going to be slightly different. And I don't want anybody's foot in my shoe to begin with. Because not everybody's clean, specifically and especially in regards to the type of steps that they take. So no, I don't want your nasty, frowsy, frothy, smelly foot on my path in my shoe. No, I don't. What else, Spirit? Talk to me, boo. Give me something good, greater. Come on, talk to me. It's a back and forth match, and I know, and you, and no, and I know, and you, but no, and I, like, who the f got time for this? Nobody got time for this mess, child. I'm hearing The Stairway to Heaven. I believe that's a movie. I'm hearing honey baked ham. Maybe you're making sandwiches or cold cut sandwiches or hoagies. Someone loves banana peppers. You can eat it out the jar. Or pepperoni, or I think it's called peppercini. Peppercini peppers. Someone loves peppercini peppers. Somebody making some kind of a sandwich or something. Okay. Somebody listening to Genesis. I'm also hearing ZZ Top. A lot of rock. Could be soft rock, hard rock. Something about a rave. Okay. Thank you. Divinely guided. Thank you, boo. There's something about a rave, or you could be going to like a silent concert or a silent something with the headphones, and you're in a room with other people, but only you can hear the music, but you can see other people dancing. I guess that's what it's called, but that's what I see. Okay. Someone needs to go for, you may need your air filter changed in your car. You may need your tires rotated. Something with the oil as well too. You may need an oil change. There's a few things that needs to be done towards a car that will be taken care of this month. So for whoever that resonates for, okay, whatever you need done to your car is going to be taken care of this month. Okay. So you're going to see a lot of your fruition or your prayers or your manifestations really come through for the month of September for whoever resonates. Okay. Somebody's eating a bear claw. Or someone loves glazed donuts. It could be the little circle ones. Munchkins, I believe it's called. But I see the little circle donuts. And I just see somebody popping it with some milk. Okay, that's what I see. Somebody's making pulled pork or a roast. Someone loves to cook. Okay, ain't nothing wrong with that. Someone's name is Abigail. I'm also hearing alimony. What's about this alimony? Tell me about this alimony. Tell me about this alimony. Page of Pentacles. Someone lost their job. So if you're still married to someone and you may not have quite went distance to divorce this person, it could be financial reasons or whatever, however, or maybe you don't have time, okay, however it resonates. But someone is trying to come against you or trying to come for you, or they want you to pay them alimony. It's not going to work, but you need to be aware as to what's going on, okay? Someone's name is actually Paige. Could be P-A-I-G-E or P-A-G-E. I'm also hearing beignets. Southern hospitality. You could listen to Ludacris, or Ludacris is your favorite rapper, or you could be related to Ludacris, the rapper. There's some form of relation there. Some form of a family relation. Ludacris is what I'm hearing. Christopher, what's his name? Todd? What's his name? Christopher, or is it Todd? Oh, Lord, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ludacris. I can't think of his name. I know his last name is Bridges. Or I'm also hearing, oh, God, What's Happening? And what's the name of that show? Three's Company, and with Gary Coleman. And he was adopted by the rich guy. I can't, name of that show. Y'all help me out with that show. I can't think of the name of that show right now. But yeah. Oh, what is the name of that shit? Yes, thank you. Different Strokes. Sometimes I be like, yo, what is it? I hate that. But yes, thank you. Different Strokes. Thank you. Like, what's the name of that show, man? I know it. Thank you. I'm also hearing the Jeffersons. Oh, perfect. Yes. Teresa, yes. Christopher Bridges is his name. Okay. All right. Hey, Stamps, how you doing, bro? All right, let's keep moving forward. Yeah, Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is here with the truth. Yeah. So, if this person decides to take you to court for alimony, they're just going to set themselves up for failure. It's not going to work. They're really restricted financially here. They're restricted mentally and they're restricted financially. But for them, the mental ties into their financials. So if they don't have money, they don't feel like themselves. They feel like that they can buy the world with money. I mean, that's a very poor mentality to have. That's just my point of view when it comes to that. Like, I love money, but not to the point where it's taken over my life. It's just, yeah, it's not that serious. But I just feel like these individuals here, they're not able to, again, it's going back to that paradox. Narcissism is very paradoxical. It's like a contradiction. Some things, or most things that shouldn't be together, it fits well, but it shouldn't be together, but it just makes sense as to why it shouldn't fit, although it fits. It's very paradoxical. Yeah, it is. It's like, wait, what? There's nothing they can do to get them out of this. Nothing at all. They can't walk in your steps. They can't walk on your path. They won't be able to live in a thriving setting here because everything is the opposite for them. They're surviving. They're not living. They're struggling. They have to fight other people to feel big about themselves or feel like that they're in control. The reason why they felt that they were in control of you is because they never had control of themselves since they were a child. They maybe were able to do certain things maybe they weren't able to do things. Maybe they were controlled. Maybe they had a very harsh upbringing. Whatever it is, it stems from the childhood. Yeah, it definitely stems from the childhood here that they refuse to acknowledge, and that's okay. If they refuse to acknowledge their plights and their downfalls, things of that nature, leave them right where they are. Somebody making carrot cake or carrot cookies. Something with carrot cake. I'm seeing carrot cake. I'm seeing carrot cookies. But it still has the same aesthetics as an actual carrot cake. So there's like whipped cream or whatever frosting is actually in the cookie, and then I see it in the muffins as well too. That's going to be a great seller for whoever that resonates for. Somebody's a great baker. You love baking, but you could be afraid to put your gifts out, or you could be afraid if people are going to purchase it. Whoever that is, please put that carrot cake out, okay? Put it out. Put it out. So we have the high priestess here and the tower. You know. You know. Get it done, boo. Who that message for? Get it done. You can get out of survival mode when you make a choice for yourself to start living for self, because that's the only person that you can live for is self. The moment that you acknowledge and decide to get out of the survival mode is the moment where the tower is going to hit for you. For them, they don't know how to do that. And they want to stay attached to you despite them not being aware as to how to do that. They're going to put you in the tower that they're currently in. Don't do that to yourself. That's not fair to you at all. Yep, look, justice. Justice. The justice is you speaking the truth of your life. The more truth you speak, the more lively you'll feel. And speaking truth doesn't always have to be like out on a social forum. You don't have to do that. You can be truthful with self. You know what I mean? You're aware of the situation. You acknowledge the situation for what it is, and you're going to move around differently, you know, far away with your truth. You know, there's many different ways, of course, but so when you say wishful thinking, okay, so hear me out. I ain't gonna bite on you a little too. I'm just okay, let me just say this. So over here, no negativity when it comes to uplifting you. This is how I feel towards the collective. I want to get you guys to be in a position where you are so confident of self that there would never be any words like such wishful thinking, okay? You can make a wish and it can come true despite your surrounding your actions and how you perceive things. Okay. So if you're currently in a situation right now, a very narcissistic individual, or sorry, if you're in a narcissistic situation right now and you're trying to get out of harm's way, you're trying to get out of the situation here, first things first, you must put you first. That's the first thing foremost. Look in the mirror and check you first. So look at you first, because you are the person that's going to get yourself out of the situation, if that makes sense. Secondly, start getting into meditation or discernment. And you want to become enlightened in regards to what your spirit is saying to you. They can talk and they can yap and they can do whatever they want. Just okay, yeah, You can even gray rock them as well too. Just let them hear what they want to think. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, all right, yeah. Okay, yeah, okay, no, or don't say anything at all. But the moment that your discernment starts to hone in on you here is the moment that you should start to listen to what your discernment is saying, if that makes sense. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you're in a situation right now and this person keeps yip yapping and yelling and screaming at you, but your spirit, while they're yelling and they're screaming at you, your spirit is telling you leave the house or take the car and go to the store, whatever the case may be. There's a reason why your spirit is saying this despite you being or feeling like you're under attack, because your spirit knows, or the discernment of your spirit knows, and is trying to tell you to do something differently, if that makes sense. So despite you being in a very toxic situation or very chaotic situation, always allow your spirit or hone in onto your spirit to help guide you away from, you know, unscrupulous situations. Listen, I'm gonna stop right here and say magician. I literally just summed it up for y'all. Listen to me. There's a reason why they keep trying to come up against you, because they know that you are truly powerful. And in some cases here, sometimes you might not be aware that you are powerful, but I'm here to remind you that yes, the fuck you are. Ask yourself the question, why does this person keep bothering me? Why does this person keep trying to do this? Why does this person keep trying? Is it because of your energy, boo? Because of who you are, the DNA of who you are. And they don't want you to thrive or live off of the true parts of who you are. So you have the magician here because you can change anything that you want. Yes, that's a real thing. Yes, you can. It starts with the mind as well, too. Yes, you can change it. And you will change it. You will. But you got to want that change. You gotta want it. And the moment you become sick and tired of all the foolishness that's happening around you, oh yeah, you're gonna change. You're gonna change. Dang. Okay, we got Scorpio here. You could be, they could be. Sagittarius. Virgo. That's okay, boo. I'm here to lift you up. Listen, when I was going through what I was going through, I really didn't have anyone to lift me up. I did. I had a few. But the majority of people that knew what I was going through didn't care anything about me. So this is why I have created these channels and platforms here to put you in a space of ease, to know that you're not the only one that either going through this or have went through this. I've went through this since I was young, since a young child. So I'm pretty relatable in regards to what you're going through. And for me, I like to teach one, each one, or each one teach one, whatever the saying is. Me sitting here being able to utilize my experiences and transmute it onto you guys in a very positive way. So that way you can be successful. However success resonates for you, because everybody's definition of success is going to be slightly different. But I'm here to help to guide you back to you, not to other people. No, I'm here to help guide you back to you. You and you and you. That's it. That's it. Aquarius. That's it, boo. I'm here to help you guide you back to you. Did you see that? Oh, dang, I never noticed that. And that's okay. I ain't here to judge you. The good ones, the great ones. I'm not here to judge you, because it happens. It happens to the best of us. That's a true statement. It happens to the best of us. So if I'm here, if I'm able to help to guide or assist you with getting out of that self-destructive space, okay, Libra. And I know y'all can do it, because y'all keep showing up here, Leo. So that must tell me I'm saying something right. Gemini, okay. Capricorn. Taurus. And listen, before I get out of here, I'm going to say it again. Divine collective, meaning the individuals that can honestly acknowledge everything that is happening. This is who I'm speaking to at this time. Please know that you were not placed on earth to survive. I don't give a damn what them other heifers doing. But when it comes to you, you need to know that you weren't here to survive. You were here to thrive and live life however way you see fit for self. That's what you're here for. Okay? Always remember that you are that person, whether you are a guy or whether you are a man. Oh, sorry, a guy or a girl. Don't make a difference. But you gonna always be that one, not two or three. That one. Okay? So put some passion into your purpose. You're going to find it. Trust me. You're going to find it. The more you find yourself, the more you're going to find your purpose, and the more you're going to be very passionate about your purpose. Yeah, I know, because I'm living my purpose right now, speaking to you guys, okay? So go out there, be freaking great wherever you are in the world. You deserve that to yourself. You're so deserving of everything great. Whatever it is that you want to accomplish, you're very deserving of that. Okay? So thank you guys for being here. It's truly appreciated. Don't forget to grab the book right here. You look. No, for real. Wisdom Beyond Wounds, okay? Go ahead, grab this book. I'm telling you. I've already started getting some testimonials surrounding this book. It's truly appreciated how it has been a really life changer for the individuals that have left testimonies for me. It's a really good book. It really hones in many different aspects of narcissism, and it also has reflection questions that you can answer in regards to your childhood experience, and it really helps to break it down further, so that way it helps you to release what you may have been harboring, or you may not even know that you were harboring that, if that makes sense. No, it's on Amazon. It's on Amazon. Wisdom Beyond Wounds. I'm gonna make a post on TikTok, and hopefully I can put the link. But I'm gonna try to play around with that, okay? But yes. Oh, thank you, Misha. Okay, thank you. And if y'all feel led to, if you feel comfortable, if you want to send a picture with you holding a book like that to my email, I really appreciate that as well too. Okay, love you guys. Go out there, be freaking great. Have a phenomenal day. See you TikTok. Thank you. Instagram and Facebook. Thank you, boo. Mwah. See y'all. You're welcome.